Alrighty, so
Don't tell him that.
last,
Don't get too cocky.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
I mean,
Or those struggle bus for that guy.
been a while since Helgrath and Pilgrim has showed himself, so.
No, I don't like you. You're not a good man. You're a bad
Oh,
man.
we're a lot more rune stones prepared.
Alright, so last time on Otren, after purifying the shrine and proceeding further down after a brief rest and recuperating yourselves, you managed to finish exploring the rest of the Forgotten Temple and realized that there was a singular sarcophagi that had still remained within the temple grounds inside of the Cloud Giant's temple. After examining it for a little bit longer, you realized, especially with Rotona Park and Rames's study of the symbols as well as the necromantic energy that was still there, that this was a guardian from the heavens, a celestial guardian, though in skeletal form, had obviously been in the remainder of watching over the tomb of the priestess that had been left there in respect of Hephaestus. After realizing this and seeing that there was one arcane runic trap left on the effects in the chest beside there, and not the actual vault that contained the ashes, you decided to pop the lock on that, and upon exploring it, did manage to find a few more wealthy goodies to add to your collection, as well as also purifying Kuposhak of the insanity that he had briefly absorbed by breathing in the demon blood, and returning him back from the amnestic state that he was and forgetting that everything that has recently happened and regaining his memory of, well, what left was of his memory there is to salvage, before proceeding further down into the ocean, passing through the old priestess's living quarters on the side turrets of the tower, and seeing the Sahagan necromancer that was sitting amongst the wreckage of this trade ship. Seeing the sharks that were circling around the old ship, as well as the Sahagan sitting in the middle, did seem a little peculiar in nature. You know that they would usually hover around there for either fish or octopi, usually not going to sit there for a long period of time without an abundance of food. But after realizing that the Sahagan had some kind of control over it, quickly cast Pass Without a Trace, which gave you a bit of a shadow and a shimmer in the edge of the water, and you were able to quietly approach the Sahagan, who was seemingly distracted and focused on other works. After Ramus had drained the necromantic energy from two of his shark jawbone creations, he had left the necromancer confused and thinking that assassins had come for him from his own tribe or of his sort. After calling out, trying to see who was there, and being slightly alert, you quickly jumped on the opportunity to get advantage on him, summoning various creatures to fight the other sharks along with your own various sharks and octopi, as well as taming one of the other sharks and managing to get it onto your side. After this very quick and diligent battle, only the octopi, I believe, were the ones to really sustain damage at this current time and stance. You swiftly looked through the Sahagan's effects, trying to make sure that there was no remainder or necromantic books and such left behind, collected his effects, made sure that none of the rest of the animations or amalgamations that he's created existed around the area, and are now on your way back, traveling up the hundreds of feet from the seabed floor that you are at, back up to the top of the tower, to your friend who is waiting for you on the ship. Polgain is obviously waiting patiently. When you do arrive, you do see he is quite surprised for the amount of, well, damage, some of the things that you're bringing up. I would imagine quite a few are still inspecting some of the gems that you have prized from the huge collection of wealth that you have managed to grab from the temple. And overall, after sitting down for a great deal of time plotting out your course, you do see that Balgain is a little apprehensive at this idea, but he still agrees to take you back to shore at this current point in time, but obviously he still needs to unload his hold of all the clams and various fish and shellfish that he has collected for the day that he didn't get a chance to really sell just yet, but they're still good as they're sitting in his hold with some of the water from the ocean to keep them fresh. Obviously, for keeping mussels is a lot easier. Some of you being able to indulge on them as he does, or well, did shuck them originally when you took a rest back up in the tower.
We're actually gonna try and set him up with the shipping empire.
Yes. Yes.
Some
I invest all of my gold. My share goes to this guy. I draw up a contract. I hire an imp to draw up a contract. Devils are very good at contracts.
Alright, so I guess we decide that we'll fund some of his ventures and some ships and some crews to get the shipping going and a percentage of the
first step is probably we buy a second ship and a crew that report to him, and they should make a shipment and start creating ties, and then we come back. We shouldn't go from 1 to 100. We should go from 1 to 2.
We give them the means to start.
Yeah.
Or the silent investors, because it gets us ships to take us wherever we need to go, and also nets us a constant source of money. Because why not?
And it's a good thing. We're putting money back into the economy. We're creating jobs. And we have good business practices too. HR department is well funded, and well equipped to handle situations.
While we fought evil.
Yeah. Well, we fight evil in dungeons. They fight evil in the corporate workplace.
Hell yeah.
I will need to be checking in on this guy periodically. Can we arrange some sort of sending stone situation?
Some messenger or something, or
So,
can I look into how much are sending stones?
Sending stones. I need to double check. I think they might be rare.
Does this mean we left the tower, period?
Yes.
Okay, just clarifying.
Wondrous common item. So, the sending stones, especially being a common item, would be around the approximate price of 100 gold.
I will.
a lot.
Yeah, we have a ton of money. The
Literal
treasure
tons.
mound. Yeah. We have 12,000 gold and
It's
1,600 platinum.
Gonna benefit us and our pockets. We might as well take it from us as a whole.
Can we just give him 1 platinum and wish for the best?
No. I mean, that is enough to buy a significant amount of a boat, but it's not
We're also gaining a ship, a captain, or a trust.
it's an investment.
How much would a ship be anyway? How much would we were to invest? I mean, how much would a ship be?
Actually, isn't that a thing in the? Where's my player's manual?
There are folding boats,
Sailing ship,
but,
vehicle.
yeah. Should be a price on that.
I'll buy that for $1.
Vehicles, 5 mounts and vehicles. A galley is 3,000 gold. A keel boat is 3,000 gold. A longship is 10,000 gold. A rowboat is 50 gold. A sailing ship is 10,000 gold. And a warship is 25,000 gold.
How about a canoe?
Boats are expensive. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Boats are more expensive than a freaking sending stone.
Well, because you
Remember, I mean, it gives you livelihood and your home on the sea.
It's true. It'd be a chunk of our money. That'd be most of it. If we bought him a sailing ship. All right, fine. We give him an investment, a small loan of 100 gold.
that fishing fleet.
Wait, what were the price brackets?
They were in the thousands of GP. 30,000, 3,000, 10,000, 10,000, and 25,000. There's also a rowboat for 50 gold.
Yeah. Basically,
How about we buy him like 10 rowboats?
Why? Why?
Well, I was about to say, Paul Gain equivalently is sailing around on a keel boat, so his boat that you're using right now is equivalent to 3,000 gold.
3,000.
Galley wouldn't be too bad.
A galley would be like the one.
The galley is the most expensive.
Oh, I thought that was 3,000.
No, keel boat is.
Galley is a galleon. That's
the biggest boat.
That's the double decker big dick like fucking 30 to 40 cannon. I'm gonna destroy your shit, kind of fucker.
We give him like a G. Can he turn that into something?
A 1,000 gold, he could still have huge amounts of repairs and even just smaller rowboats and other sailing ships. Well, not sailing ships, but smaller ships alongside him between many of the fisheries and such. If you,
I mean, when you start small, the more fish he gets, the more.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, instead of a shipping empire, we just do a fishing conglomerate.
And then that may even turn into shipping
couple keel boats.
Then they buy their own distribution. Yeah, okay.
Or
and then we can put things in the shipments, like weapons.
We can have him as an inside man. He does the fishing and sells to the Shishipuniki. And find out information that way.
Yeah, I mean both. Why not both?
You get one.
How conniving.
And I like this guy. I want him to sail us.
He's cool. All right, so a small loan of 1,000 GP.
So
I will take it off of the treasure hoard.
he does look extremely stunned at this, even though obviously the prospect of hearing word of mouth or kind of like trying to keep eyes on what the Shishipuniki are doing, because especially with one of the Great Lakes beside them, and if he can get the ship all the way there through the river trades, that he would be able to keep an excellent eye on much of the water travel that they would do across the land, especially in trying to traverse or fight Samundo if they get bold enough to do so on the water.
If he can get someone inside without it tracing back to him and us, then by all means, but let's start on spying and fish.
And you already know Paul Gain has done something to become a fallen Azamar. You could tell that he might not be proud of, but you know that he might have some kind of skills that he's not mentioning.
I want to slide him 1 platinum from my own currency.
Huh? He, as he kind of looks at it, you can see like almost sweats, especially with the amount of money, but you can tell he has like a very keen eye for platinum. So you
Buy yourself a nice big bag of potato chips, buddy. You earned it.
So you want me to get you all the way to the borders of Shishipuniki and see if I can.
We have some stops to make first, but yeah.
All this money, I could easily do that.
Out of I guess out of character, out of game. Can we do what we need to by sail? Or do we have to ground travel back to the Giants, to the blacksmith, and then Commander Zhang and all of that?
For Commander Zhang and all that, you would have to travel back by foot. The Giants especially, because they're further inland and towards the mountains. The blacksmith is not very far from the water itself. It would take a short travel, which, let me bump you over to the main map here.
So that's,
Because you
I guess.
I was gonna say, you guys are currently here at Capro, which obviously, traveling from the water here, going down the main trade route, you would very easily reach back to Ronzalia.
Where are the Giants from there?
The Giants, from your current circumstance, is right here, because they control this main section.
And where's Zhang?
And Zhang would be further inland, around here.
So how do we do this? Do we travel all by land and meet him somewhere, or who do we see first?
Sorry. Can you? Who was the furthest inland on the map?
Definitely Zhang. You know that, especially if you get your horses again from Capro, where you have your horses stabled currently, you would be able to return back to King Snur fairly easily.
Oh, we do have horses. Alright, so if that's the case.
Yeah, because you rode them the whole way to King Snur, and then over to Capro when you were trying to chase down the gold runestone initially.
I guess we work backwards. Since Zhang is still on the land. How close is Zhang to water? Or at least the river?
The closest river, if you want Polgane to go that way, would basically be starting close to Roland's going up this way, and he would be able to stop at one of the main intersections for trade routes.
Saying, could we meet him already through there instead of like coming back, you know?
For that, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to travel all the way straight through for this river because it does end off here. The main trade river that does go through starts in Onso's borders, and then they carved it from this one to here to jump up.
Ah, so there's an artificial channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so I guess we'll just work backwards and then meet him somewhere, I guess.
Alright. So you're gonna tell him to meet near one of the at the main trade sections within Otren's rivers.
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll do Giants, Blacksmith, Zhang, because we got what's up over there.
Alrighty. With that, are you going to set out immediately for that? Or are you going to take a moment to organize your stuff?
Organize stuff? I don't even know we have stuff.
It's in the treasure hoard.
I'm doing that at this moment. Give me 1 second to finish, and then we can go through the last of it.
I guess I sort of ask him if he's heard any rumors about anybody in town knowing about any other rune or weapon.
For that would be extremely easy. He has not heard jack shit, and nor is anyone in this entire fishing town. This place is a bit effectively abandoned. It's just like a little fishing corner part of basically Otren's borders, and no one really bothers coming through here other than to maybe on emergency resupply or to speak with the main sailing captain, who does have the sailing ship that does trade from this port, mostly on the front of just fish when a small town needs a boost in food, or if they have like a bad season for crops.
They don't know shit.
Nothing. Literally just straight up town of fishermen.
Dagon's on his way here.
Jesus.
Already was.
Little did you know, you just brought ashore the treasure he needed to get here.
So I guess we're off. If nobody else has any business carrying shit here.
I'm gonna go find my wife and kiss her. She lives here. It's in my 18-page backstory.
The Legacy of Iden, Chapter 14.
If we happen to see
The end of the beginning.
What was the name of the
The blacksmith?
the griffin that was protecting the tower with their kids?
Oh.
Wait, where's the griffin? Yeah, the griffin.
The name of the awakened griffin that you spoke with was Cumulus.
Oh yeah. Well, if we happen to see her when we're sailing away, I'd like us to at least know that tower should be safer now. Maybe not 100% safe, but definitely safer now for her and her kin.
You would definitely see her on the just as you were about to leave, because obviously still keeping an eye on you, making sure her children don't just jump onto your ship and eat Polgain while you're away.
I can
Please
tell
don't.
her and her kin to square the fuck up.
They put on their boxing gloves. The whole tower turns into a giant UFC arena.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. So, being able to hit the road again and being able to collect Nira from the company and kindship of the old man and his nice little eatery that he keeps open for everyone in town. But you're able to get your horses, collect all your effects, sort out a good portion of your treasure. Be able to hit the road again, heading towards Kingsnur.
Did we took some stuff for Nira to possibly rummage through, didn't we?
You did. You found a magnificent ogre sword, which, well, it was obviously made for ogres to defend the turret, but in your hands and hers, it would be equal to that of a greatsword.
So I guess I show her some dish and rummage through it.
So, obviously, with a big smile that would creep across her face the moment she sees you returning, and then also
I'm about to get some giant cheeks clapping.
she'll, even though is afraid of the water, will still come out onto the docks where she feels at least it's safe enough about halfway to meet you, and still give you a big fucking hug.
How much is Nira away?
You can't ask a lady that's not Jin.
With
She's not a lady.
Considering she's an 8-foot Goliath, she's definitely in the 360 category.
I'm just trying to wonder if the docks will hold up.
Hold up.
She's not that big. This is
Giants, it's just questionable.
She's thick.
boy, she thick.
must be jam, because jelly don't jig like that.
I want to talk to this neon person in the top here.
Which neon person?
Up here by the sheep.
Ah.
What's their story? They look cool. Are they a fire genasi? Ed wants a peep. People that are resistant to fire are of interest to him.
Well, definitely not a fire genasi, but they are a good old sheep farmer. Aside from the fish and everything, they do pretty much the majority of the clothes that are sold in town here and basically traded. Also, the occasional, when the sheep starts getting a little long in the tooth, sell some nice mutton.
Do they do hats? Do they sell hats in their clothes store?
They do.
In their tailor shop. Is it a tailor, or is it just like, we do linens here, go make it yourself, bitch?
They do have some clothes pre-made. They have cloaks, hoods, hats, and such, because obviously fishermen are fishermen. They occasionally lose their caps and such, which would be best described as either, the full nice hood hats or such that you can cover over and it hangs a little on your neck, or the equivalent kind of beanie made from a nice wool.
Oh yeah, give me a beanie. I would love like a nice, it's probably not dyed, so like a dark wool, like a dark gray or a black if they have it.
They do have the black sheep and such.
Okay, yeah, I would take a woolen hat
What?
to keep me warm in my travels.
Well, she'll happily sell that to you for 5 copper.
I will give her a gold for it.
Well, she'll definitely look surprised. Like, we'll try to give you change.
I will act confused and not accept.
Thank you, sir.
We're like rolling too much in money.
For the
I
moment.
mean, I'm just a generous person. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
These are simple, hardworking folk. Paladin.
Go straight to their head. Just starts throwing gold at them. Like, what the fuck?
It's from my own personal gold. Y'all get off my dick.
I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. I'm just saying we are rolling in money.
All right.
We
You
are
guys
rolling.
get all of this.
I totaled all this shit up. I mean, did you not see the piles of money on the world?
I see how much we have reserved and how much we have in our pockets. It's a little much.
3,000 platinum pieces.
Yeah.
Little.
32,000 gold equivalent in translation. At the same
Kingdoms have been founded.
same time, you guys could actually go out and buy a galley.
We could sail the world. We could become pirates. Oh, let's be pirates, guys.
You could go and buy 3 sailing ships with that money.
We can get a galley and be pirates.
That's true.
We could be very fast. Galleys are very fast. They're the fastest ship on the water, apparently.
We'll consider it if we come across the fact that we need water fights.
We need to cross the ocean. Is there another continent?
Yes, there is.
Oh shit.
I mean, effectively, there is the full-on world map.
Holy shit. We do a platinum.
God damn. I want to go to the North Pole. Ooh, or does this planet not have poles? Oh, that would be really cool.
For them, they are actually majority warm.
Damn. If they don't have no poles, there's no way for me to make money.
God damn.
Oh, that charisma though.
But there is street corners.
Oof.
Um,
I have a little bit more class than that.
That's fair.
and of course this world is flat as God intended. There are edges. You could fall off.
Well, for these, it does go around.
Tears. You're one
Flat
of those
earther.
roundies.
You're damn right.
You flat earther. Get him out of our party.
Just like my women, round and thick. Oh, I know.
Little circumference on that.
Okay.
But yeah, if you were to immediately sail off, you would leave the Kingdom of Campolia and also Anso nearby, and then straight over. You could either go north into the further into the Gulf, or into the Gulf transition into one of the main open oceans, past Muraladia.
Wow.
Or
This thing is big.
go straight south and then try and take over the main Gulf here, but that's probably not recommended. Because you would have to pass through fucking heavy military controlled fucking Gulf entrance here.
At some point, I definitely love to go to land, but let's make sure you will
Master this one yet.
Oh man, the next one is not rocks. It's like we gotta find all the different colored forks.
The spoons of the land to feed the poor. Bouncing up.
That's crazy. It's a big ass world map.
Yeah. Bouncing on bank, obviously getting your friend Nira back, and also her. Mostly just happy that you are back, not too worried about the sword, but she definitely admires it, is actually quite enthralled by it. It's quite a magnificent piece of work, something that she has never really even imagined herself having.
I hope you like our gift.
I'll definitely have to thank you if we ever have enough time to stop again.
Yeah, like he said, our gift, so you gotta clap all our cheeks.
As Aiden looks at that, and it's just like, nah, bro. I like my hips.
Can have my turn.
I like my hips to be intact.
No, he did not. He doesn't swing that way.
Oh.
Hold him down.
God damn. Alrighty. So, Leon is now equipped with.
A lot of fish people for this. Is that better than the axe she had?
Loads.
Just hope that she doesn't go crazy again and attack you.
Yeah, that was wrong.
What's she doing? Belt, 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 belt. Ah! God, I have to add a new attack for her. Alrighty, so especially with all these nice celebrations, you will be able to easily collect your effects as well as your horses from the stables. You do see quite a few people are looking on with interest, and even sees Polgan kind of unloading his, well, shellfish mussels and other such that he had caught before at a much cheaper price than he usually does. And you even see that the main fishing captain looks a little quizzically, as he would even come out to see that Balgain is quickly unloading and clearly loading up on some supplies himself. Much more water and other dry preserves so he can sail longer, as well as a nice fresh basket of apples to keep with him as he sails down the coast. But they definitely seem interested on the fact that you've managed to go to the cloud giant turret that sticks out of the ocean and come back alive.
Yeah, we kind of do that.
To offer us free food?
What time of day? Traveling now, or should we wait?
Well, the old man will still happily welcome you into his eatery that he has.
Alright, do we stay and leave in the morning, or?
I do not wish to travel at night.
Let us stay overnight, regain our strength, and head out first thing in the morning.
We shall rise with the sun.
Alrighty. So,
I offer the fellows at the eatery 2 gold for a feast for my friends.
so with that, he has a pretty big smile. Alright then, it's time to get some of the nicer herbs and other spices out. I haven't done this in a nice while. You can see him stand up, and even with the little bit of crack in his bones and his back, you can see him stretch out and getting full ready with a pretty big wide smile on his face as he starts busting out all the good stuff that he's been keeping stashed in the back between what looks like Dragonborn ales, as far as you could tell. When he starts setting them down. Careful. Those are a lot harder hitting than you would ever expect.
Yes, younglings, be very careful, I say to the rest of the group.
But the main brand on the bottle, as you do look at it, you see the name of the Reimeris Rose Fire Ale.
Let's get a big jug for our little buddy over here, Kupo Shack.
Yes! It's been too long.
Deserve your little buddy.
He will very happily quickly hop up onto one of the benches and far beyond ready for having a nice drink, especially after the strange curiosities that has happened to him. You even see Dia kind of stepping up to match with everyone else and just all around have a nice drink as you see Edward start making up a nice chowder, as well as a few other pieces on the side. Some toasted apples for those who want something on the sweeter side, and he even pulls out a fairly large jar and starts melting what seems to be kind of caramelized sugar and making caramel toasted apples.
I asked the, are you sure you're gonna stay with us? Because it's weirder from here.
Yeah. You asking Dia?
Yeah.
For Dia, she looks at with a little bit of questioning, but seems to still have a great amount of resolve for this. It's definitely been some of the harder trials that I've ever done, but as far as my experience with the rest of you, I think it's better that I keep following. I may not be as skilled, but I have already learned a great deal, and I feel a lot safer with the rest of you than whatever might possibly be going on between the provinces.
Ramus,
Yo.
you beat me to the punch. Go over between Dia, I look to Nira and I say, Dia handled herself with great accomplishment down there. Perhaps she can test herself against your sword and grow stronger like you.
Are you Podrick painting her?
No.
Were you trying to set her up to go fight?
No, I'm just trying
Nira.
to give her like a sparring partner so she gets stronger. Like
He's Podrick painting her.
Podrick. Yeah.
He's like, here,
Wouldn't the best
Podrick,
person,
go train with a giant
spar
woman.
with is me?
She'll beat your ass around into shape.
yeah. Fine, yes, I guess I'm giving her the Podrick.
It's fantastic. amazing.
God damn. So, as you suggest this, Dia kind of looks to Nira, and Nira kind of gives a pretty big smile at the sound of it. Huh? Oh, it's been a while since I've had a chance to try and swing at anyone. So, with that...
I swear to whatever god is in this game, Nira, if you hurt her, I'm going to fight you.
You're worried about that after everything we've been through?
Yeah. I still protected her after everything we went through.
Yeah, she's proven herself full in a battle. I think she'll be alright.
Yeah.
I like wink at Mira.
Alrighty. So with that, you can see a pretty big fucking smile creeps across her face again as she gives you a sly wink and, come on, before we sit down to eat. Dia with a surprised face, but will definitely not turn down the sparring session. Will immediately go out to have a match with Nira. And
Oh, right now? Okay.
oh yeah, she's throwing down right fucking now just to see.
Oh, dinner and a show.
See what happens when you wink at her?
But they definitely go to the center. You can see quite a few people have all eyes on them for the current circumstance.
We give them like wooden weapons, or are they just gonna try not to?
I sidle up to Ramus and
practice.
I say, 10 on Nira.
Ramus takes them up. Anybody else?
Oh shit.
And on Dia.
Ooh. Since that. Why is that? This is weird.
Give them room, give them room.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So. God.
Fight yourself. Do it.
Well, as I update some things real quick for Dia.
Tia's leveling up, that's cheating.
That's cheating.
It's cheating, she's playing the video game.
Hey, she levels up too, and so does Nira. At the same time, Nira has a very terrifying fucking greatsword with it.
A new big sword.
You say default.
Alrighty.
Her size means nothing, dear. Remember, your footwork and your skill will see you through.
You're working your skin.
Dude, if you're gonna be your mentor, then I'm sorry. I watched the Clone Wars last week. I feel like I need a Padawan. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
Did you finish?
I did, and it was good. It
Dude.
was fantastic.
I finally went back and watched season 7 just recently as well. Holy fuck.
I now have to fight myself. Oh, geez. Alrighty, so going into some immediate tensions here. Holy shit. Nero wasting no time as usual, especially being fairly riled up and has been stuck on shore with nowhere to go, but has been at least talking to Everin. Is going to quickly open up with her new greatsword. Just fucking go for reckless strikes on Dia.
Did anybody else bet, or just these two?
Just those two.
Ram was asking if any of the crowd wanted to get in on it before they started. It's a little late now.
Alright.
Like,
Damn. So, one very intense strike as Nero quickly brings the flat of the Great Silver Sword up to near Dia's head and fucking smashes her right across the skull. Quickly brings it right around again and smashes her in the gut. Obviously non-lethal. And then goes to shove her away and stands there waiting, full cocksure, not even really guarding herself and leaving herself open to Dia's attacks at this point now. You can see Diaz, even though it was a non-lethal strike, still drew blood, as you do see a large line of blood drip down the side of her face from where she got smashed in the temple.
be careful, we still need everybody with fighting shit. Ish.
Still need everyone able to fight.
Kill your woman. No, just has it. No, I would never say that. I would never say that.
I don't think.
Heal your woman. Alrighty.
Nope, I'm out.
Alright, so these first two attacks will be successful strikes.
Ooh.
So they're trading blow for blow at this point.
And he's still looking around, seeing if any of the audience is getting in on the bet.
You definitely see quite a few of the townsfolk are actually starting to gather around this spectacle that's going on, because obviously there's not much going on in a fishing village at this point.
Ask him to put some money up.
Fucking, there's a soldier and a fucking half giant going at it, hammer and tongs. Just like.
Josh, can I roll a perception check just to keep an eye on Koo?
I'm gonna keep an eye on Koo. First you set up my trainee in a fight, and now you want to keep an eye on my homie?
Koo is enjoying the Ramirez Fire Rose Dragonborn Ale.
DM God?
Alright.
Yeah. What's up?
Can me and Thalos have a match next?
Definitely.
Oh, wow.
Do it.
Alrighty, so solid 17 to Nero, and the Dia will action surge.
Dun dun dun.
What is she, a fighter? Or
Samurai warrior.
Ooh.
She
What is
fights.
What is she dressed? Does she dress like a shinobi? Is that the idea?
She's dressed like an actual samurai. She has the full steel plate garb that hangs down her body. Alright, so all of those definitely hit. One of them is a crit. So she wields two katanas equivalently long swords. She is also ripped as fuck. She has 20 strength. Alrighty, so in a very swift retaliation towards Nira, you see one miss, but 5 magnificent hits from Dia as she manages to strike at key joints for Nira, being her massive size and especially her leaving herself open with reckless attacks.
This is like hyping up the crowd, trying to spend more money.
So, at this point, you do hear people start calling out bets. You hear from over here towards this small batch here of people putting 3 to 4 gold down on Dia after that flourish. So, you'll be able to try to collect that as you can hear them call out. You hear the dwarf guard who's kind of obviously moderating this, making sure that they don't spill over into anyone's shop who's sitting near the cart. Quickly call out 20 gold on the posh woman as he points at Dia.
Okay, so we how did these 4 split it, or these 4 over here?
So, these 4, there was 2 people for a bet of 4, one was for a bet of 3, so in total there's 11 gold coming from this corner, and then another 20 from the town guard, as they are putting it down on Dia now after that magnificent display.
Those 4 were for Dia as well? Or?
Yeah. This guy here is looking terrified all the time, because it's his natural state.
As a
But
bard, he should be scared.
he is going to throw down a matching 20 on Nero.
Damn it, tell these people to get off of my action.
Alrighty, so Nira going back at it again, more reckless. Oh,
And that, as they say, is all that she wrote.
unfortunately.
Oh. God.
Alright, so with that, especially non-lethal, Nero just strikes right at the shoulder, then the gut, and then sweeps out the leg and throws Dia onto her back for a moment into the dirt. Her swords end up flying away from her for a moment as Nero sweeps her leg out. You can hear everyone quickly cheering out for a moment for those who made a bet on Nero. You see the guy, he's obviously in a state of constant terror, is actually rejoicing at that bet, and you can see the dwarf guard is slowly counting out some gold, just grumbling to himself as these other people are coming over to pool all the money that they just lost in with his for when they hand it over. But at that point, obviously non-lethal, Dia looking up from the dirt is gonna go over and grab her by the chest plate, lift her up, put her back on her feet, and dust her off. Not bad, but you need to have some better weapons than that. Though you definitely struck at the right spots.
I give a terrified guy, I guess, gold. And he makes the rest.
So, between him and Aiden splitting that pot, because you could tell he's looking pretty happy with that.
Walk over to Dia, and I look to Nira, and I say, "Say you, did she prove a worthy opponent?"
She definitely did. She can hold her own for sure. Might want to actually get her some magic swords.
To Dia, and I actually cast Healing Word on her, just to heal the minor wound she got from the non-lethal combat.
Yeah. The fucking flat of the blade smashing into the side of her head was the most significant damage. But you can see the mending up nicely.
Jin walks up to behind Thalos and taps his sword on his shoulder.
That's spicy.
I'm the warrior.
Alright, Drew Tang.
That's spicy.
Alright, Drew Tang, your turn.
I look to Jin, and I say, "I am no warrior. However, I will not deny a request from an honored friend."
May I suggest the two of you get a little bit more space than the brawlers? One of you I know is less than non-destructive.
No spells.
Okay, no spells, then no magic item.
See everyone starting to give a little space on this one, but they're all looking pretty excited. Also, Ivan, you got 15 gold and 5 silver from the split pot from other people betting.
Cool. Thank. Always bet on the giant. The big one always wins. This is.
Oh, 15. Oh, yes.
Alrighty.
Ramus starts trying to take bets again.
taking taking bets on himself.
It's.
Shall we say best of 3 hits?
Sure.
All right.
The paladin or the half. I'm like hyping the crowd up.
Alrighty.
Who's in? Just walk
Talos
around.
is still on the boat, apparently.
Sorry.
Kenny, you gotta give that speech like in Blood and Bones, where the Dante Blasco hypes up Michael J. White. They call him Bones because that's what he breaks.
Bone
Oh, okay, all right.
ready. So,
I didn't get that.
you'll hear Ebert actually call out 5 gold on fellows.
I give him a nod. Thank you. Lose that money, but make it entertaining.
I catch Thalos's eye, and I flash "I'm sorry" in druidic hand signals, and then I say 20 on gin.
Oh. Ramus is like, alright, I've got 10 on Thalos. But I also got 10.
Can hear that.
Not, but I got 25 on Jid.
You can hear the dwarf call out immediately, like 20 on the man in armor. For that, especially all the ruckus, the captain of the sailing ship will actually come down the street with his wife on his arm. Look at all this going on. You can actually hear him calling out 50 on the paladin.
I'm Switzerland.
You gotta win
It's
just so
okay.
we
You
can.
can vote for your brother.
Rain's a cleric. They don't vote on fights.
At the,
Wow.
Yeah.
Too holier than thou.
at the same time, he will still shoot a wink towards
It's
Rain.
not holy. It's not holy at all.
The old sailing captain will still shoot a wink towards Rain. Like, how are you doing, beautiful?
Wait,
Sir,
who winked
that
at
is
me?
your wife. Your wife is right there.
Yeah, she's smiling at it.
Oh,
Swingers,
damn,
man.
right?
Right next to you, Rain.
I could swing it.
Man, with hit him.
Milena.
Hit him, do it.
Oh,
You hear in your brain, I'll back you up.
Am I allowed to just swing at civilians with my heartbreaker? Because I might kill a motherfucker.
That is our shipwright, man. That is our guy.
Maybe,
Oh.
maybe. That's not him.
Maybe not.
That's not-
No, that's not him. But
That's the.
You pull out your sword. Is like, sorry, sweetie, but I'm a heartbreaker. You just
that
walk
guy
away with
just
your hair
pulled
flick.
up what we're trying
Word.
to do.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe. It's
Oh, somebody go get the guy that was carrying us in the boat. He should be selling refreshments right here. Like, this is prime.
He's currently unloading his ship, so he
Look at HR working.
Alrighty, fucking hell. So,
Expect regular updates on the fishing empire.
go ahead and roll initiative as the bets continue to roll, and you do hear the drow and the other fellow betting on Thalos, throwing down another 30 gold for him. So, the pot grows.
Okay. Rolling initiative.
Thalos taking a close stand right on Jin, forcing him into the corner. and going first.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I didn't.
Didn't click his token though.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Did I re-roll or did my 10 stand?
10 stands. Alright. Go ahead. Throw down. You managed to get the upper hand on Jin.
I take a step towards Jin, then I step back and start to weave. I take the dodging action for the round. All attacks at me come at disadvantage.
Alrighty. Jin, your turn.
Alright. I step forward and I grapple Thalos.
Alright, so
Contested strength.
would not be
It's athletics against acrobatics.
I make acrobatics with advantage, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're dodging.
Hey.
How old is Thalos?
He's a wise aged druid.
Is he a young man? He's not a young man, is he?
he's probably like about 67, but for a dwarf, that's like...
Yeah, he's in the prime of his life.
45.
Okay. let's get
He's a youngin' according to them.
Just a upstart brat.
Sorry, acrobatics.
Oof.
Not slip out of that.
Alrighty, so you managed to get a grip on Thalos as you quickly charge up to him, and even though he tries to anticipate you, suddenly just grab onto him tight, not letting go. Alright, so that would be over to Thalos then, unless you have a bonus action you want to do, Jin.
Nope. Over to Thalos.
Thalos.
Okay. So we said no. So I said no spells. But
You
did
said
you
no
bring
spells.
Okay, but I'm okay. I assumed I had my staff, but I don't know. Did you walk in weaponless? Because I don't want to use like.
No, I have my sword.
Very cool. All right. In that case,
Are you guys wearing armor?
Yeah, we're wearing armor.
Yeah. You guys just walked off the boat.
how can I break out of his grapple? Is it another?
Another contested athletics, or you can roll an acrobatics against his athletics.
All right. I'm gonna go for a contested athletics. I apparently did not roll. Did it roll?
Did not roll, but Jin is killing it with a 23.
Okay.
Arm wrestle
All right.
a
I was
giant.
not able to do it. With a bonus action, break us apart with a telekinetic shove.
We're still trying to see if anybody else is getting in on this bed.
Alrighty. So,
Josh, can I attempt my bonus action of telekinetic shove to break us apart?
you could still definitely try to do that. I believe it needs to make another athletics against that, if I recall correctly for that.
And this is rolling so slow. All right. Yeah, strength save versus DC 14.
Alrighty.
So I have to do a strength saving throw.
Yes. So, do it up. Killing it. So,
All right. Yep. You got me.
alrighty, so especially after quickly trying to score him out and then muscle your way through and then telekinetically shunting him, and he still digs his heels in, Jin, you have a firm grasp on Thalos.
I wanna shove Thalos into the ground. That's gonna be another contested
Athletics.
athletic.
Yes. Yeah, Thalos athletics again.
It's not gonna go my way.
Oh my
All right.
fucking god, bro. Fucking killing it tonight.
All I can do is try. All right. Can attempt to. Actually, if he's trying to shove me down, is there any way I can attempt to like use his force against him and sort of flip him over my shoulder. Would that be still athletics or
Trying to judo him.
kind of like a judo, like hip roll kind of thing?
If you can beat his athletics, then I'll have you guys do another roll to see if you can do that.
Just give him a shot.
Trying to warm his clothes with him still in it.
Unfortunately, no. You try and roll your shoulder, but at that moment, Jin is like already pushing your other leg out, and you are now prone as he shoves you into the ground.
Okay.
With Thalos prone, I'm going to swing at him with advantage with my sword. Where did my character should go?
Shoving would be your.
If he's prone,
Well,
I have an extra attack.
You have to take the attack action.
Yeah, you would have to
that's
take
right.
the attack action to do that. Shoving is your main action, so it eats the whole thing.
Oh, all right. So Jin just sits on him.
All right, Thalos, you are pinned to the ground. You can hear people now starting to yell bets out on people again. 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
We have the blonde hair guy from WWE run into the ring, slide in.
Oh my God! I can't believe what I'm seeing. He just Yokozuna'd him into the dirt.
Graham is laughing with his mug of beer, trying to get bets. This is why I joined up with you. You're so much fun. All of you.
You see, Ebert is in the corner, like occasionally, like checking on things, and then coming around, like, "Come on, fellas, get up! I know you got enough strength in your back after walking around all the time in the woods."
Okay. All right. Well. All right. Bonus action again. I'm just gonna try to telekinetic shove him off me.
All right, Jin, another strength saving throw, DC 14.
Which will be easy for him.
Oh my God! He's digging his heels in. He is holding on tight.
Can I tap? So we can start over? No, I said
Back to
3, like best 3 falls. So.
All right, Jin lets go of him and stands
All right,
up.
yeah, no, I give him a nod, like, okay, obviously, like, it's up. But let's try it again.
We get
Actually,
it.
Jin gets off of him and extends his hand to help Thalos up.
On my shoulder? Huh.
We get
Try.
back.
Okay.
Ramus starts yelling for more bets.
I sort of like try to square up my stance, just so, he knows, all right, ready to go again.
All right, Jin looks at Thalos and he snaps his finger, and Jin's armor comes off.
Oh,
Make it fair?
God damn!
Jin's AC is now 13.
You can hear the sail captain that is standing next to Rain. Like, another heart of gold on the paladin.
Okay, initiative.
You're first.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay, all right. In that case, I spin my staff, and I go for a low sweep of his legs.
All right.
Its dodging didn't quite work out. I might as well go on the offensive.
Ooh.
That's a definite hit.
Yeah, that wouldn't have hit before.
Oh, it would not have, probably not. But I'm pulling damage. I'm not trying to do like any damage.
Yeah, that's all
I know.
non-lethal.
All right, yeah. So I hold the staff there, showing like the hit. Then I swing it back in front of me defensively, and prepare myself for his attack.
Jin replies to Thalos' attack and says, "Don't ever pull your attack toward your opponent." And pulls out his sword, still sheathed, and swings at Thalos.
Oh no.
Wait, is he? He's swung at his legs. Did he hit his back? Is he prone?
No, remember, Talos is up.
I'm saying.
But, did I fall?
Yeah.
That's a good question. DM, did I fall?
Let's see. Roll me in acrobatics.
My sworn enemy.
Is it? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I fell.
Uh,
I fell.
Well, that explains the longsword attack.
Yeah, there we go. That explains the longsword attack. We can cover that embarrassing crit fail.
Ramus is really hyping the crowd. Bets. He's like trying to take everybody's money.
This guy immediately comes out like, I'm gonna match the captains. It better, I'll double it. I'm gonna put 100 on Thanos.
Jin uses his action to get up on his feet. In one quick gesture, he just like jumps up on his 2 feet.
When I hear the 100 gold, when I hear the 100 pieces on Thalos, I look to Jin like, Rex is making money on this, so I just give him a nod like, Keep the show on.
Jin gives Thalos a shifty eye like he knows what's up.
Alrighty.
I'm really hyping it like it's a wrestling match.
Can I assist? Can I toll the dead like up in the air to make a bell?
I'll allow it. Just for the fucking round match.
Thalos starts to, like, as he's scoring off his Jin's back on his feet, Thalos starts making symbols in the air until they start to appear almost like he's about to cast a spell, but then he dispels it. Like, oh, no, we're not going. To freak the crowd out.
You definitely see the dwarf, like, shuffles inside for a brief moment. These people kind of, like, quickly go around the side for a moment.
I don't care how close the building is. I said I cast fireball.
All right, next melee.
So who's attacking, me or you?
Let's re-roll initiative and see. This time we'll both go at it in earnest.
Alright.
So this is the tiebreaker then.
Okay, steady. 9. Crack. I forgot to click myself again.
Oh no.
Wow, this is the first time I got over a single digit.
It's Jin coming in.
So
it's been like 10 months since I had a double digit roll.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Alright.
In like 110. So whoever you want to get going and let's take these fools. But I don't say that out loud.
Yeah.
I keep the staff spinning as he comes in at me.
25.
Woo! Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
And as soon as the sword is about to connect and hit Thalos, Jin misty steps to Ramus and leans on his shoulder and goes, and that's a wrap.
You can hear a bunch of people like, ah, no! Other people are immediately cheering. You can hear the captain kind of laughing as the merchants are like, no, shit! Ah, crap!
Okay. All right, I tap my staff on the ground, look back over to where Jin is, and give him a nod of evidence of that he's won.
Jin walks over to Thalos and extends his hand.
Seems I need to sharpen my skills as well. I clap my hand to his wrist.
Or, my friend, whenever something is coming to you and you're in danger, always call my name.
Always. Another round for my friend. I throw my arm around Jin's shoulder.
Cheers! Jin brings a mug to his sister.
Yeah. So
Aiden sidles up I wanted to bet on you. I really did.
No, brother, no. We knew how that would go. No spellcraft. We fight with honor in a bar.
One day when we are not so occupied with people,
War.
perhaps
Jin
we
pulls the
should
mug away from his sister and
cross
realizes, oh, she's already
states,
drunk.
as it were.
There you go.
Always.
Oh, there you go.
Phrase, but
Okay, at one point
Intentional phrasing. He
We
walks
have to
away.
we have to get into a drunk bar fight at some point. I
A
didn't
drunk
know.
bar fight? Oh my god. What if
No,
we
I
end up
wanted-
doing that with the Giants?
I didn't know I wanted to do that until this.
Until this.
raise my
Party
glass.
combat is fun.
Dallas raises his glass to Dia and says, "Humility is the best teacher, is it not?"
Indeed it is. That's why
You mean an ass whooping?
Oh, so that reminds
Never
Jin.
have I learned better.
Jin still has things that he has to give to Dia. Jin hands over to Dia his +1 pike and his +1 longsword.
Are you sure about this?
Nope. If there's anything about that sparring session is you need new weapons.
Thank you.
Does his weapon have a name? Or no?
Jins?
Yeah.
I think it does, I just don't remember it.
That helps.
The one he obtained from the tower?
Yeah.
Beetles.
Now we both know the name.
Because, you know, Heartbreaker has like a lovely little image and a section in my journal, and I don't even see my weapon in here.
It's true. I need to.
It's like, that's
I know
right.
my sister's weapon well. It's like Josh is waving it in my face like, ha!
Behold, motherfucker!
Mine is amazing.
A very rare
Yeah.
mall. It's gigantic.
+3 weapon.
I appreciate
It's called
the
Heartbreaker because it
Alice
breaks
in
my heart by giving it to her.
Wonderland-esque heart
It's
at the
Uber.
top.
Don't worry. Let's see.
Let us drink and be merry.
There we go.
Dude, good thing he didn't fight you with that.
Oh, I did. It was just turned off.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Beetleless flames.
Aiden, how about I fight you with that?
I will not promise no magic, but you are probably very outfitted to fight me. And Aiden, like, pops his hand open and a ball of flame appears, and he, like, makes his to toss it at you, with giving you enough time to turn your armor back on and for it to, like, splash harmlessly away.
Oh, I look forward to bar fights with you.
I look forward to being on your side in a bar fight. Though, and then
I swear,
his
Aiden needs to come up with like a combo move where he lights me on fire and I get tossed somewhere.
well, you just are the one that's in front, and I just cast fireball centered on you. You're the bomb, baby.
Boom shiggity.
Is it like a big town feast or just like?
I
I
assume we take over. I don't know.
especially at this point with the main fleet captain, as they would basically call him, even though it's just all the sailing ships. He definitely has the biggest push and pull here, being the main trade ship and pulling the most coin into this town. They definitely start spilling over into some special reserves after a very jovial fight like that in the main town center. So you would actually see that quite a few of the other fishermen who have actually come in and brought in some nice special catches here and there, larger fish, others that are a little more exotic looking and such, and even some of the drinks and other reserves that they've collected from the other countries nearby. definitely see quite a few strange fruits, and as well as a very interesting mix of spices and such. As you can see, they start just rolling up with a good portion of their own cauldrons and such, and just kind of set up shop near Edward's. You can tell that they have done this quite regularly near his eatery, and also why they allow him to just stay here and be supplied for free without any issue while he's running this place.
Oh, nice. I was gonna give them gold, but if they're not really worried about it, then neither am I.
Oh yeah, no. You can tell that this township is, even though small and obviously has their own money, they definitely look out for each other.
All merry and laughing and drinking and shit.
Oh yeah, they haven't seen a fight like that in such a long fucking time. Have the preliminary fights between the 8-foot woman and the, as the dwarf put it, the more posher looking samurai woman, and then the wonderful and very showmanship fight of Thalos and Jin, especially getting shoved into the dirt initially and then going for the final strike and teleporting.
Such a show off he is.
That was awesome. Besides, these people want some entertainment, don't they?
We gotta hit him with the gladiator. Are you not entertained?
Dude, I just found his picture.
What?
It's pretty cool.
That's right. She's awesome.
If they're actually gathered around and having a good time, every once in a while, I will literally shoot a firebolt into the air to entertain like the kids. Like if they're like kids or like anyone else around. That's
Can I juggle fire with produce flame?
You definitely can. So you're just having a great time and showing these people a good time.
Carlos said that, and it just reminds me of that scene from Shazam. Lightning in my hands. Lightning in my hands.
I do a show for the kids where I use primal savagery to make my teeth big, and I snap at them as I tell them the story of the big bad wolf and the 3 little pigs.
Ooh, I will join in. I was thinking about doing the exact same thing with my primal savagery. So.
Oh my god.
Oh, we can do shadow puppets on the wall with the claws and the yes.
And then Ramus can freak him out with Rotona Bar and have actual shadows come out.
Or turn it
I could transform into a T-Rex.
Oh god.
No,
and the rest of the night.
If you lose
as a
control.
awkward tiger.
Can I be a drunk T-Rex? Hold
No.
on. Wait.
No.
Wait. Hold on.
I woke up and all these dead villagers were around me.
Alright, hold on.
The village I was having
Reconsider.
so much fun with, and all these people were just missing. Is blood stains everywhere.
These really deep impacts with bloody carcasses at the bottom. It looks like it's something drunk staggered through here. That in like 4 houses. Jesus.
Some of the docks were collapsed, and all the ships were out of the port for the ones that weren't crushed.
Told tales of a horrible beast. Anyway, Aiden talks about that as he's drinking, but he doesn't do it.
That's definitely a tiger with beer.
But there are definitely a few children around, and definitely they are having some are actually scared and go running off. Others are laughing and just like quickly running and spreading and hiding between the houses and such.
I use my shadow puppets to like hand out beer to people. Just I don't know, whatever. We went for it, so I'm going for it.
You can tell these people, anytime you would want to come back to this location, they are more than happy to have you here as you continue to mix everything up and just bring a much more bountiful festival to this entertainment.
Times like these are few and far between. Must enjoy them while we can. There's war on the horizon.
Makes a plate, grabs a beer, finds Nara.
And there he goes missing for a few hours.
Eh. As
Also
they
not thick enough.
kidnap one of the.
Tiger and a giant.
Got that in large spell, dude?
Oh no!
All the things would be necessary.
Oh.
I'm a tiger dude.
That's also true.
Half tiger, all dong.
I hated that. I hated everything about that.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, you're streaming this, aren't you?
Yep. It's beautiful.
Live to the masses.
Yeah, so he
Hello, peoples of the internet. Sorry.
like her once, I
Before
guess.
the night ends, I just want to make sure that, provided they're still up for Jin, Rain, and actually for Aiden, who wasn't with us when we actually picked them up, I actually crack open that honey mead we got in that first, where we found it in like that first tower with the Shishipuniki.
Ooh, forgot him.
It's like really fine, like dwarven honey mead. But Aiden wasn't with us when we had it, and we haven't had a chance to actually
Aw.
celebrate anything. So I'll actually crack that open, and I'll give some to the proprietor of the establishment. Just in appreciation for everything he's done for us.
You can tell he looks pretty excited at this, especially for something he hasn't tried before himself. So he'll take out something that he's got on his personal list for something that on special occasion, especially sharing a drink with someone who's given him something that he's never tried before. He's going to take out a very rare and fine tiefling whiskey.
Ooh.
You can tell only a quarter of the bottle is gone, but this bottle looks to be probably as old as ever it is.
Ramen
I
smells
look to
like
Rain for her expertise on it.
Ramen
Rain
smells
is
like
too
a-
drunk to have an opinion.
Too drunk to have an opinion. Looks at the old man who hit on her. I will fuck you up.
Yup.
But fucking god. So
Jin, will you drink with me?
You're talking to me?
Well, I was looking at Jin since you seem to not be interested.
Oh, I would have had another drink.
Well, in that case, I sort of like nod to the number of like glasses for him to fill with it, or shot. I know how you do tiefling whiskey.
Shit stuff from the bottle, but
So he
That's that devil liquor.
that's that
Good
devil
thing we got a
water.
paladin with us.
So he gives you a wink. I have special glasses for this, and he'll actually set out very clearly what came with the bottle itself. It has the same emblazoned logo of probably a family line of tiefling whiskey makers. Pouring them out, obviously, nice drink for each of you who've managed to bring a lot more life to this town for the time being and bring everyone a great smile. And especially for the notes in it between almost a soft, smoky smell. You also get kind of almost like a soft, almost like applewood mixed with various fruits that would, softly cleanse your palate of any other tastes and also give a nice lasting taste to it. Something that lingers nicely, especially when smelled. And considering how old it is, you know that this is going to be very strong but also very smooth. So,
Alice will begin sipping it and nibbling on some of that caramelized apples as well.
it actually goes really, really well with the tiefling whiskey. As he gives you a good wink at that, and obviously, nice little mix there. If you need any more, just let me know. It's the nicest little private stash I've had from when I used to sail around.
Well, so
With that, you can see him put the old-fashioned cork that has the crystal top back in the whiskey bottle and set it down in its velveteen-looking box and closes it back up.
I raise my glass to the Delacroix twins. Who'd have thought, months ago, we were simply traveling together on the road. This is the path we would be on.
Yet
But
here
I
we
feel we were
are.
brought here by destiny. We both. Take a step.
I'm going to drunkenly raise whatever I have in my hand, which I assume is a flask, but I'm too drunk to really tell.
At this point, one of the shadows would have pushed one of the mugs of honey mead into your hands.
Perf. Cheers.
To friends we lost along the way.
wow, you are
To the bird.
Theory we will always remember.
The
Shoot it.
As Rain is lit as she is in game.
She's got to bring her character to life somehow.
God damn.
wow.
Yes, you are.
Y'all hear
I'm
that
still alive in the
voice?
cloak.
Funny.
Feel warm inside right now. I wonder why.
You might have pissed in your pants.
I'm not as drunk as you.
You're right, I'm speaking from experience.
Fucking God.
Please don't judge me.
I'm gone.
No judgment, guys.
No whatsoever.
So, especially with nice festivities, the town coming together for nice little random celebration, especially for those of you who've come in and brought a lot more life and warmth to everything. All around, it carries on pretty late into the night. When finally people start making their way back home, either completely sloshed or bellies full of food and quite happy, and they finished out their conversations. Some that return to ships that they sleep on, others that return to their houses that they stay here, and most one or two that have basically fallen asleep on the supply and trade goods that are awaiting transport out of this section. But Edward welcomes you to stay the night and sleep off any amount of drink that you've had, and to help yourself to any of the leftover feast and food that is there, and he'll be cleaning up in the morning once everyone's rested up and good. Can tell Edward definitely appreciates that. Gives you a good smile and a wink. One more pour of the nice tiefling whiskey.
Are we staying in his joint upstairs, or is there a separate?
He's got room in his place. He does have a little back section above the storehouse for where he sleeps, and then the upper floors for any fishermen or people who travel through and need a place to stay. There's also the in just down the street to the south.
It's still upstairs with the mirror.
Breaking the bed frame, breaking the walls. It's a good thing they got sturdy houses.
He was like roars.
Pineapples.
Yes. Definitely recommended to eat lots of pineapples.
Pineapples.
All right. Well, I watch everybody as they stumble out, and I pretty much stay up through the night. Just keep watch on everything. Still in the groove.
Alrighty.
Biden will play with his puzzle box until he falls asleep. He sleeps downstairs in the bar, nursing the strangely warm, filling ale, the honeyed ale.
I didn't secretly break the Cenobites.
You could definitely roll your intelligence check for that puzzle box if you like, but at disadvantage.
Didn't I already open it?
Sure, you did. You can still fiddle around with it.
Yeah,
Extra
he's just playing.
surprises.
He's just playing with it. He's not like trying to open it. He's like pushing the pieces
But
around.
what if you magically open like another spot of it and
Okay, I mean, I'll roll for it. Hey, if there's more shit in there, I'll roll for it.
A portal.
Intelligence
portal to the demon world?
or an investigation.
We lost another player.
Yep.
Just
Perception.
a flat intelligence, unfortunately, at disadvantage because of drinks and all the stuff going on.
Is 8. Good sir.
What if he gets smarter with drinking?
Oh
It's
yeah,
hilarious.
double advantage. I should roll 4 times
He's an
and add them all
intelligent drunk.
together.
That somehow makes sense.
Yeah, he drinks and gets like that beautiful mind moment. It's all clear now. But yeah, enjoy playing with the puzzle box for the night. Ku gets pretty deep into the Dragonborn ale. Eventually passes out underneath the main table near Everett's kitchen. You can see he has one giant loaf of bread tucked under his head for a pillow.
I still don't trust him.
I don't trust him. Sleeps on the floor. An empty bottle of whiskey and a fucking bread loaf for a goddamn pillow. Look at him, he's pure fucking evil. Looks like a drunk dog. Alrighty. So, obviously, after a very jovial night, the sunrise comes a lot sooner than you expect. Especially with a very noisy, boisterous night and good amount of company and everyone who has been spending time with you, talking to you, finding out that Capro has been a interesting trade spot, especially for the sale of fish. Everyone's been making good coin, selling it to the country over across the border as well. For those who are having a little more hardship with crops, they just don't seem to have the best of luck with their agriculture. Occasionally, some pests or creatures occasionally do attack and wipe out their farm areas, and unfortunately some of the families as well. Though it definitely seems to have slowed down a bit with King Schnur that's moved in nearby. So possibly you do find out inadvertently it's possible that some of the fire giants hunting some of the larger game or even some of the monsters have inadvertently made the area a little bit safer for the time being. So,
Is that partly because of us?
I'm sorry, we're a little quiet there.
Because
But,
More time?
they were...
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I said, is that partly because of us, though?
For you, you would definitely assume it's partly because of you and everything being a lot more quiet, and also that you knowing that the gnolls were initially sent out to start heading towards the mines and such, and King Snur himself is quite satisfied with what you've supplied, so he obviously has no reason to head out and harass any parts of the other town, or to have his hill giants go out and start reclaiming areas for the giant kingdom that he's obviously starting to build up towards. And especially at the fishing town, they don't seem to have any real issue with them, because they don't have any significant trade other than fish. So there's nothing here that a fire giant would want other than maybe some sheep.
Alright, sweet. It's morning. Are we, like, up in the morning?
For
Rise
this,
with the sun.
it would definitely be a fairly nice warm morning. Nira will definitely be sleeping in.
Grandma's, walks
Would be
down.
if we're not waking her up.
Everybody else. He gives the proprietor 3 gold. Sorry, nothing.
He just looks at you with a pretty cheeky old man sign. Thank you for that. Don't worry. Probably won't be the worst thing I've cleaned up at this place.
And I go out to check on them. See how they're doing.
Alrighty. For the rest of the townsfolk, you could tell they're going about their day. Some are a little sluggish. You could see the dwarf guard is actually quite fast asleep, just obviously passed out in the nice morning sunlight as he sits on the barrels and crates like he usually does in the center of town with not much to do. Just having a good snooze after the festival. For Paul Gain, you would see that he is actually already getting on his ship early in the morning, already loaded it up with supplies from last night, and starting to get ready to make sail.
Chris Grandma approaches him. I guess we'll hear from you soon. Does he know where he's meeting us, or?
He knows he's meeting you up near one of the trade sections on the river, just past Rollins-Alia.
We'll be in
Is
touch.
there a certain it's gonna need to get to, I don't know if there are any water weights holes or anything like that, but is there an amount that he needs, like a stipend, in order to get up there?
Especially asking him that, he quickly looking like, no. The 1,000 gold you gave me should definitely handle any port issues if there is any, and especially for docking fees. I know I can dock here for free, but I'm still fairly familiar with some of the fees in trade ships. I'm just a fishing vessel, so I'll be able to get away with without any taxes or fees for trade goods.
Understood. And good journey to you.
And to you. I hope to see your faces again soon in the coming days. Do be safe. I know the Providences are getting more dangerous. I still hear my fair share coming up from the coast, but honestly, I still have no idea how bad it is. None of us really have left here.
Not be afraid to hire men to protect you.
With the extra coin, and especially being closer to Baruzo, I might be able to find a couple of cheap guards who are just looking to sit and get drunk, look mean on the deck. Shouldn't be that hard.
See you tomorrow.
Gods protect you. With that, you'll see him cast off and start getting his keel ship off and start coasting down the coast.
The Pyramus.
You're coming in and out. What was that?
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah. In that case, no. I just asked if we should go for the horses.
Yes. Seems like we've got a lot ahead of us, so it's time to get started. We head for horses.
Alrighty. So,
I pet my horse and remember to give him apples.
your horse nudges you happily. It keeps trying to go for extra apples, cheekily.
It's been a while. I oblige.
We'll be extra cheeky and steal an extra 3 apples.
Horse, good horsey.
Did he have a bathroom up there?
For the small township, unfortunately not. They don't have that many magnificent luxuries here. But you can always go and take a dip in the ocean.
Alright, sure. Yeah, quick wash off.
You can tell that's pretty commonplace. A lot of people just usually, if they smell too bad or anything like that, or lose their constitution after a nice festival or something, will usually just go down to the beach and have a quick dip.
There was a joke about being a cat.
Give it money for plumbing. Nah, see, that's where you get a magical toilet that just teleports all the waste away. And if you're really clever about it, you make sure it's that someone you really fucking hate, so it lands like in their house every time. At a random, just a random location inside their house every day.
I still want to give them money for at least a bidet.
Alright, so you can definitely do that. It's not expensive. For something on the more reasonable side, like that of an inn or anything, would be a cheap 5 gold.
Sweet. I'll give them 10.
I'll be sure to make sure that one of the lads built that up nice. Make sure it looks real pretty too. You all definitely be sure to come back and visit if you need anywhere to stay. This port is definitely always open to you.
Come on, sweet pea.
So,
Or like a big ass slapping it. We have time.
alrighty,
Shout out.
so, yeah, as Ramus and Nira grab a have quite the golden smile on her face. That she heard. But we'll still continue to be a little more postured, and crumbs and other pieces of the loaf of bread that he was eating in his sleep kind of stuck to his face. as he looks around. Rest of you. We heading out?
We are.
Alright. He'll peel the loaf of bread off the floor and kind of just start munching it as he walks out the door. What's left in his bottle.
It's disgusting, but he's awesome.
Bread and breakfast. Not bed and breakfast. Bread and breakfast.
Kind of bread and bread.
Thank Eberhard for his hospitality, and if everyone's ready,
Alrighty. Finally hitting that road again. On the road again.
Back on the road again.
Gotta get really remnants.
Did we get fresh horses people, or they didn't have like any different?
For fresh horses, well, you can tell the ones that you have are very rested, especially for the ones that you brought in initially. They definitely look ready to be traveling for the long distance again, across to Kingsner's castle for the destination that you wish to reach, as well as back towards Commander Zhang and Grimdane, the blacksmith.
We're off to see.
Alright. Alrighty. So. Traveling back towards Kingsner's castle, you would definitely be able to reach there, especially leaving out early morning, fairly quickly towards the end of the day. Still have a good amount of sun. You do see that the fire giant at the front gate looks at you and with a little bit of a eyebrow raise, kind of sees that same respectful folk that he saw before. Calls out to you. Why do you return here? Of course, obviously hearing this echo and boom across the landscape.
followed King Snur. We followed King Snur's words and found that which was hidden, lost before. We've come to return it to him.
Well, I'll let you know. I'll let him know that you've arrived. So with that, they will not keep you waiting long. As obviously you hear the heavy black iron doors being unlatched from behind. In which also the cart that you had originally left there is still there at the gate.
Oh, nice.
You
You
can
can
tell.
take it this time.
Yeah, you can tell that they just don't have a use for a cart. They don't need to worry about that shit. Not one bit.
Well, we can pile our crap in it and hook it to a horse.
It's true. You got 3 horses. Technically 4 with Invincible.
Or we can start, like, riding in it.
Start collecting more people. Alrighty. So this. Got the cart down for a second there. But Nira, Ku, and Dia will keep an eye on the horses as you go to speak with them. The fire giant that I didn't originally showed you the way in will start leading you towards the main throne once again. Oh, I'll throw you into the wall for a moment. You definitely see that this place has been fairly busy. Looks relatively freshly cleaned, and the tapestries have been dusted and refurbished a little. And overall, you can hear that the sound of the mining that you originally heard is a little more distant, clear telling signs that they've made good progress, and this might be the point of where they have people resting during the time of the day. As you approach King Siren, especially him now seated in his throne, looks to the rest of you with a fairly big smile. I see you've returned successfully, still alive. And I was informed that you have retrieved that which was lost initially.
I think that's the joke. Did we carry armor different for work, or?
Taking the large armored pieces that came to life, bringing them to here.
Yep. So I guess we placed those out for.
Right. So it takes a while, especially for how big they are, as you start taking them out of your portable hole, basically. Start setting out the large armor sets that they have, and you can see that even the other fire giant guards that are usually fairly stoic and don't usually move actually occasionally take a glance down at the large sets of armor, the 3 that you brought with adamantine make.
Fallows has the tools.
Well, the smaller tools were for the other blacksmith.
Oh, right, okay.
Back for the
Did we
tribute
bring-
the goddess in.
Any big-
Those pieces of armor, like, just to bring pieces of that forge work. We couldn't, like, bring back any of the, like, the giant,
Oh yeah.
things, unfortunately.
So you could see him nodding as he quickly holds a hand out and you snap his fingers, and it almost thunders through this cavern of the main throne room. The guard quickly goes over and picks up one of the main plate pieces and hands it over to the king. I see you found the old Forge Master's handiwork. As you can see, especially for King Snurry, has wasted no time in finding the Maker's Mark on the plate armor.
Found the old forge master as well, and set his spirit free.
It was good to know that the mighty warrior has finally been set to rest, as he should have been. He broke up horribly on that one, dude.
Even until the end. Whatever he was trying to fulfill, he definitely did.
I remember fighting for my freedom. This fellow Forge Master, this fellow giant, this kid, he is the one who gave me the chisel that managed to break me free of my chains originally.
Oh, thanks. So we kind of did a good thing.
back when I was very young. I thank you, especially for returning some of his fine armors. Been there for a long time, I would imagine. You can see the marks and damage over time.
There was a lot in there that perhaps didn't belong there.
I would imagine. He never ceased his work, especially even with outfitting many of us. Would occasionally engrave various runes and symbols into the armor for us. Gave us extra protection where the Cloud Giants cared not for us. Fought great in the war. Destroyed many of the creatures captured by Cloud Giants in the end. Though I don't think it was really captured. More of a self-surrendering to make sure that his other kinship stood a chance to break free like he did once before.
Do not know if you know the history of that tower, but strange property about it. All creatures we found inside somehow wakened.
Maybe it was from you going around and disturbing it, I'm not sure. Maybe it was the other rune stones being brought closer.
Perhaps. Maybe of interest to you. The sentient forge, sentient anvil, still lives at the bottom of that tower. With that, what you will.
With that, you can actually see, aside from the very grizzled look that he usually has, his eyes kind of widen a little bit with a curiosity at that statement. You found Angravar? How big was this anvil?
Like,
As tall as I am.
yeah, it's pretty big.
You said it was sentient. Did it have engravings and giant on it?
Yes.
Then they never recovered it. You can see, like, for a moment he shuffles in his throne, and it immediately goes to stand up, almost like with pure excitement on his face. They've never recovered it, or they didn't even realize it was just sitting down there waiting. That or none of them actually did survive when that damaged castle fell from the sky.
If you go there, just leave the griffin be.
I do not worry about the birds there. As far as I know, they would be a tasty roast if they get in our way, but I have no interest in them. I would have better use, like my pet Hydra.
Yeah, you do you, bro.
Jesus. The
Oh,
pet Hydra is if it loses
people-
the head.
People not to fuck with. This guy.
Well, hopefully we're in like his good side. I asked him about the mines, if he sent anybody in there, or what he saw if he scouted there.
Yes, I sent out regiment of slaves, along with one of my commanders. I would be, well, one of my more trusted knight captains. He went down there with a few Ettins and taskmasters to make sure that they don't get any cheeky ideas and try and hide amongst the smaller crags. But if you are to head down that way, I'm sure you will find them waiting at the mine and waiting for their report back. Obviously, it will take time to estimate the value of the mine and see what is actually useful there. And you said that the smith who originally sent the gift of the fine adamantine that you originally sent me, what township was he in, so that I might give him his fair share of the materials there?
Anybody remember the town?
Tell him the name.
Rollins Ollie. Grimdane of Rollins Ollie.
Write this
Grim
down
what?
again. Go through the last stuff.
Grimdane the dwarf.
And what's the town called?
Rollins Ollie. Hold on. Let me quickly copy it over. Maps. This map is over. There we are. And you've been there before. That's where you initially got the gifts and where Kuposhek stole the cart.
Oh no!
The sudden realization of wait, fuck! We've committed a crime. Well, Ku committed a crime there, but
How long's it been?
for the amount
Not long enough.
Yeah, I was about to say the amount of travel that you've done, especially back and forth, a week and a half so far.
I mean, we'll bring the guard back if we want. We just go see the smith and dip.
Go to the smith, drop off the cart at the side of the village with no one to see. Just be like, yeah, we're just gonna leave that there.
Bad. You can have this back. Yeah, so I tell the giant to name it.
All right.
You're heading there next, actually. I'm sure you will be very thankful. Oh, what about the Shishikaniki in the, what was it, west? West of the town?
Oh, westward for the messengers that you originally caught up with?
The one that they said there was an encampment of them.
Oh, for the main encampment, that would be at the border. That's the one you initially caught up to and prevented them from sending the message through.
Oh, okay, so we didn't have to send anybody to check
No.
them.
No, and the only other encampment you guys cleaned out and then sold the commander as a slave to Kingster as respect.
Oh, well, Ramus asks about how's our gift doing.
Just knocking around here.
She had some spark, and it's been thoroughly worked out of her.
Happy to knock it on your beds. Glad it worked out.
She is quite the capable worker, thankfully, now that she knows her place. Along with her other compatriots.
No, they were shushing you to get what you fucking deserve.
Sudden realization of how heavy-handed and terrifying King Snare really is.
Do we have anything else for him? Or any...
I think that was it.
I must ask, does anyone else know about the anvil?
Unsave us.
Like, ducks?
This feels like a trap, y'all.
Sure does.
I do not think we should admit to him that we're the only ones who do.
I do not think we should lie to him.
I really don't like lying.
We're not the only ones.
Pipes
Dude
up,
probably
Rain.
knows. We're not the only ones.
Alright, so Rain chimes in finally. Oh my god, broke the silence of terror.
Dum dum dum.
Alright, so, with that, you can see him with a little bit of a furrowed brow at that. Then we must be quick. I thank you for returning this gift of the Forge Master's armor. And also for informing us of Angravar's continued existence. I would be disrespectful if I did not at least impart you another gift before you left, especially for knowledge of such an heirloom of the fire giants. I know you may not know the anvil well, maybe just see it as maybe a magic relic, but that is the legacy of fire giants. Many a forge master had worked on that great anvil. Many were taught we could have immeasurable amounts of secrets and craftsmanships returned to our people once we retrieve it.
Well, thank you for your assistance and saving us time and the ruin stuff.
What would you have? Anything that I can think of in my kingdom or that you can name, I will gladly give to you as a gift.
Do we all get something, or is he like...
He's offering one thing.
Yeah.
One thing.
Do we know which we don't think this guy has any other relic weapons, do we?
No.
I want that necklace he has.
He sold one, and then we bartered for one, and he said he only had two. I mean, you said, but
What? So, but Jin, you pipe up and say you want the necklace.
I mean, unless anybody else has a, something else they want.
Trying to think of a weapon that could help us out here.
can he improve all of our armor?
Ooh.
It would be like asking if we could wield fire itself. If you give us a day, I will make sure that all my forge workers swiftly enchant your armor and reinforce it.
I don't know about you guys. That sounded pretty nice.
General upgrade instead of one specific real big buff. I like.
Good for it.
Then I welcome you to stay. Just as a word to the wise, though. Avoid my wife. She has a penchant for eating lesser beings.
Careful, don't get bored.
Oof.
Amos kind of frowns at him, but he's like, yeah.
Yeah, don't get eaten. What the fuck, man?
Jesus Christ.
Alrighty, so that he will call for some of the ensigns to bring you to one of the private quarters that would be safer, away from his wife, and for the others to be brought inside, obviously for them to post up watch and keep an eye on the horses outside and make sure that they're safe. But obviously you'll be able to spend the day peacefully here. Not much issue to be had.
How far is Rona Lenzali by horse?
Rona Lenzali by horse would be just be 3 days total ride.
How far is the forwarding from there? Alright, spending them.
Quickly kidnap you over to here. The servant who is posted up in the corner if you have any requests for the night.
Silence.
Just dead ass silence.
I kid.
Assuming they like fed us. Or...
Oh yeah, they definitely bring you a bountiful feast. And bountiful, it seems to be equivalent to that of what a fire giant would eat each for you. So a full stacked plate.
Oh, nice. Any non-perishables I can bag to save German in case you need?
For some, they look to be like dried figs and other things that are grown to a much more magnificent size. You've never seen figs and other sorts like this grown to this massive, like, basically it's the size of a grapefruit, even though it's dried and shriveled.
Eat my share, and then I try to bag some of the rest.
And obviously the fire giant servant doesn't actually say anything. He just stands there quietly waiting if there's any wishes or beckonings that you require. You can see that Nira has definitely taken advantage of this and ordered a nice tall tankard. Kuposhak seems to be enjoying carving up what looks to be like a very large game turkey or large feather fowl kind of creature, and just eating piece after piece of that with a little bit of a mix of honey and fruit that he's kind of mashed together for a chutney with one of his daggers.
Interesting.
But yes, for all of your armors and such, for whatever you're wearing armor-wise, and even the donning and doffing one, you can add another plus. If it's a +1, goes to a +2. If it's a regular normal armor, it will go to a +1, and so forth.
Yay, +2.
Yay, +2.
Okay, my AC is disgusting.
With it.
Alrighty. So, after another very peaceful feast, and especially at the mention of Angvar, over the time of the night, you can roll a history if you like for possible knowledge on this anvil, especially hearing the name of it now.
Yeah, I don't got
Might as-
intelligence.
I mean, everybody might.
Anything about underwater anvils or
Well, obviously by the statement of what King Snur said originally, that it definitely wasn't underwater initially. It was in the sky, in the Cloudshine Castle. But, Ramus, you managed to think back a little bit on some of the mythologies you've heard, and that many of the Fire Giant Forge Masters had initially fought to protect a mythical anvil known as Angravar. Many have tried to reclaim it, find it, search it out, see if it even existed, or if it was just another Fire Giant like mythological creation that had no real validity to it other than just the history and myth passed down by word of mouth from many a Fire Giant to another Fire Giant.
Just a dream.
There were other rumors that higher giants in the Orkning had forced the hand of the Fire Giants to hand over Angravar to be more subservient and to create greater and more magnificent armors that would be beyond comparison. They would outmatch many and even make that of which of demigods would basically lust after to have their armors and equipment forged upon, as it imparted a great deal of magical energies and arcana, and especially after Aiden's demonstration, and him not even having forge work or masterwork of such of the type, and following Angravar's creation and methods just on a small telepathic level, was able to bless and imbue much of your armor. So you can only begin to fathom what would happen if somebody had attuned to Angravar and already been a forge master themselves. The armors and weapons that could come from such a magnificent artifact would be unparalleled.
So what you're saying is I should grab a blacksmithing profession.
Definitely. Shove all the primordial
I'm
serenite.
giving up the holy order and I'm getting an anvil.
Shove all the primordial serenite and Gahoon blood into it, along with all the torn pages of N'Zoth that you can into that bitch. Alright. But
Time to start this. Something need doing.
something we doing? God. Ramus is just sitting there trying to go for gold. He's going for octuplets at this point. He wants the whole fucking litter. But definitely with this realization too, and Fire Giants being infamous and famous for many of their forge works, you know, especially in the hands of King Snur, that this discovery and artifact, if he does retrieve it, would make him actually quite the significant powerhouse. Many of his soldiers, even though they already wield quite magnificent armor and blades, especially heavy blackened plate mail, the regular sign of a fire giant's masterwork, along with their weapons, would be able to wield magic ones, as well as imbue them with various traits after mastering them and learning the secrets of Angravar.
I thought we weren't going to tell them that we found the anvil for this exact reason.
Did we talk about it? That might have been my bad.
I don't recall spilling any beans.
Yeah, we were like, let's not, just in case he decides to raid the magical army. But at least we're on his good side for now, so.
Alright.
For now. So optimistic.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a magical army. Sounds pretty fun.
Hell yeah. Especially a magical giant army? Fuck yeah.
See, if the DM god says it's fun, it should be fun.
Here's the Red March music start playing. Viva la! It's very fitting too, because it's the Fire Giants, baby. So, after another nice feasting and rest, and thinking of that a little bit, but realizing now that things are set in motion, and King Snur looked rather excited by this. In the morning, the Fire Giant servant, very early enough, there, early before you wake up, each of your armors set out for you on nice pedestals and full armor racks, awaiting for you to don them.
Wait.
I put my
So
Put
do
mine up?
do I raise my plate armor to +2 now?
Yes, as well as your shield.
Oh, and my shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
By Fire Giant standards, shields are part of your armor if you wield one.
Yeah, buddy.
So, sister, guess what? You get to survive more hits. The enthusiasm.
The alcohol is taking over.
The
Wait,
hangover.
Oh, dear.
You should go lay down.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But, so, obviously, the Fire Giant's servant still remaining silent until all of you are dressed and ready for the day. You do see that there is a nice setting in place of breakfast between what looks like to be a, well, you could roll a nature for it, but it definitely looks to be a much larger bird of prey's eggs for the scrambled, as well as a slab of bacon that would probably be able to be used to slap someone across the face. It's so massive.
It's an egg.
So, goddamn. Yeah, for Ramus, it's definitely an egg. You assume it's probably like a rock or something, like ROC, those kind of birds.
The hell is gonna break through my armor? Nobody, I tell you. Nobody.
What is it at this point? Like plus 1,000?
25.
God.
It's juicy. You're gonna need it.
Don't you dare taunt me, sir.
I still love the realization of when King Snare is like, yes, I still prefer my pets to be hydras. It's like, oh shit.
Damn, son, where'd you find that?
When I brought the castle down. But
You're not kidding.
obviously, the servant waits till all of you are full and ready after you have a nice breakfast and a nice drink in the morning. Will happily lead you back to King Snare, who will be awaiting you this time without guard, as he shows you a lot more trust and respect. He still has his pet hellhounds there, as he usually does. But as he looks at you and all the fine reinforcements and work that have been done up on your armor. He looks rather proud and happy. Let's see, shuffle everyone around real quick. There we are. So, oh, my friends, I obviously have a lot of work ahead of me, and you clearly have more tasks before yourself. I wish you luck on finding more of the runestones and reunite them with the rest of their weapons. I myself need to reunite my people with their history.
Thank you for your assistance. And good luck to you.
You're always welcome within my throne room. I look forward to seeing you again if you are ever within the area of my kingdom.
I don't know, what were you gonna say? Be well, peace out. Dude.
Be good, do good.
Skirt, skirt.
That's always appropriate.
Really to each other.
May Hephaestus' fires always light your way.
Would it be suspect if I,
Yes.
Okay. It's always suspect when I do things.
He's a paladin, stop him! He's preaching the good book.
Or the bad book, depending.
That's true. Alright, so
Poor Rainy dipped. She's not feeling well.
that's understandable. Like she said, she started early, so
Really early. It was like 5 o'clock and all the way till 9.
Jesus. I'm impressed she made it for the game on time. But I'm glad she did. She will be passed out for a long, long time. But with that, King Snur will happily send you on your way. Obviously, a much more jovial king than his usually grimacing face and glaring eyes and stoic look that he usually keeps. You could tell that even though it's kind of unsettling, especially for the fact of this king does not, well, respect Otren or any of the laws, especially those to the north, but at least for now he seems to be keeping the peace and only seems interested in keeping many of the cloud giants away from his people, as well as the keeping the hill giants safe within their fortress that they have.
Snur.
So
Good-ish Snur.
Good / badass Snur. Alrighty. So, departing the Fire Giant's Red Kingdom, you can go and visit up with Commander Jing over towards the Otren in the main castle there, or heading straight to Roland's Alley.
Which one's closer?
Currently Roland's Alley would be a little bit closer, and then heading up to Zhang would be actually fairly close to where Polgain would be meeting you with the boat.
Okay, Ronald's Alley first. Is that cool?
So, when?
Alrighty. So, as you quickly hit the trails for a good 3 days, there is actually quite a great amount of peace during the travel. You see the path that you are following as definitely taking you right by the initial Shishipuninkian encampment, and you see that it looks like a good portion of it was torn apart. For those of you who are, well, who care to have a quick look at it, you can definitely roll a nature as you take a look at the large tracks in the area.
That'd be nature check.
At least degrees.
Survival.
Survival or nature. Alrighty. Alright, so you guys definitely see that, especially...
I'm a druid.
Yay!
Starting to doubt.
Yeah, that's wisdom.
Guys, tracks.
For druid.
So you see that a large portion of the tracks, some are much more easily discerned as the fire giant tracks, as they are the heavy divots and footfalls of full plate, what looks like to be one of them, followed by a couple of Ettin's footfalls. You are able to easily discern that there are 4 Ettins, as forementioned previously by Kingsner. You assume that these are the taskmasters and the lieutenant that he had mentioned, as well as what looks like 30 plus gnolls that clearly have chain drag marks to make sure that they don't flee too far, but they have definitely upturned this entire camp and taken all of the tents that were in the area for use for the gnolls, so they would have somewhere to sleep while traveling towards the mine near Roland's-Ollie. Judging by the size of the chains, you would assume that it's very likely that you might bump into this large transportation of 30 gnolls, 4 Ettins, and a fire giant along the route on the way to the mine, because obviously they're moving a lot slower on foot and with people in chains, so they don't run.
I trust no. I don't know if we can trust these Ettins. We should be on our guard.
Would they be able to tell, or it wouldn't really matter?
As far as you know, the Ettins, you're not sure they would be the most trustworthy. You know they're a little bit smarter, especially if they're taskmasters, so they can at least stay on point with what they're doing. The only person that you would assume is probably the most trustworthy, though it's still questionable because he's no longer within Snur's immediate command, is the fire giant. But you would imagine, especially for going to check out a mine and keeping an eye on the 30 some odd slaves, and then making sure that the Ettins don't slip off, that the fire giant would probably be on pretty high point and making sure that none of them are fucking around.
Alright, so we pass through cautiously.
Alright. Just try to make sure you avoid their direct path and go around them.
And just in case, just cast Pass Without Trace over the group. Just in case.
Very nice. Alright, so obviously going over the few days that you have to travel to Roland's-Ollie, keeping up the Pass Without a Trace, so does drain your magic a little bit, as it does last an hour, but it does help make sure that the travel is maintains its peaceful demeanor. You do eventually see the fire giant in the distance. It looks like they're starting to set up camp. It would be on the second day of your travel. Managed to catch up with them, because obviously moving fairly slow, trying to make sure they don't lose any of the slaves that they're traveling with. Be able to pass around the edge and skirt around. You do see that all the gnolls have the heavy black iron chains that make sure that they are walking in tens. It's two at the front, 2 at the back, that are kind of obviously listening to the Ettins a little bit more. They look to be like the more well-trained slaves, while obviously the 6 in the middle are the more riley and rowdy ones that occasionally need a tug or a push to keep going. But you do see that there are 3 rows of 10. Obviously, the 30 gnolls, the Entons that are walking around, occasionally pushing them or whipping them with what looks like a rather heavy leather hide with clearly a iron spike or ball centered at certain points of the leather. So if it does strike, you'll hurt, but not enough to pierce the flesh because of the leather covering. You do see the fire giant himself looking like he's kind of fashioned up a little bit of a hide tent for himself, probably from previous game hunts that he's gone on, as the other gnolls and such set up their own air quote stolen Shishapunikian tents that they were obviously told to take, but like having with them, clearly, since they have at least a place to sleep that'll be warm and dry from the overnight stays when they're traveling forcefully. Though you can definitely see that the gnolls look terrified. There's a few that are still fairly defiant, but obviously it's better that they are kept in check than roaming free and wreaking havoc on the countryside or the fishermen. So with that, you would actually be able to, for the next few days, and be able to leave them behind, unless you want to do anything with the encampment of the Gnoll slaves and Entons and Fire Giant.
I do not.
I am good.
As long as they're on path towards the mine and they're not trying to head off, into human lands, so to speak. Not human lands, but towards the same time we are.
Yeah. It looks like they're definitely going to have to pass around it, but you can tell they're not on a direct route towards it. They're obviously giving it a wide berth.
Alright, fair enough. I'll mess with them.
Alright. So. Especially returning to Roland's Alley on the 3rd day. It would be right around the same time that you usually arrive at your destination, especially since it was on the longer stretch. Let me quickly grab you guys. But you can definitely see that there has been probably a little bit of ruckus in the town. It looks like there was a bit of a disruption. One of the roofs are completely caved in for one of the buildings. Quite a few guards are posted up nearby for the main building that looks like it was destroyed initially. But other than that, the rest of the town seems to be kind of relaxed, though it's still a bit in a bit of a Twitter going about, and everyone's obviously concerned about something, though you're not sure what yet.
Do you see any familiar faces in the crowd? Example, the herbalist, or even like the drows that were running that magic shop. Like anyone that we might be able to talk to off the bat, or.
So for that, you definitely see the drows. You would end up seeing one of them. So let me just place you guys in the marker real quick. You do see that one of the drows are there, obviously, kind of eavesdropping. You know that they're the information network there. Ramus, I believe you're still holding on to the jar of black ichor. The jar of black ichor actually comes back to life, and you do kind of have a small recollection realizing that it was reacting to something here initially before you left. And obviously now something has happened here. So, whatever that may be, it is very likely, due to the Icarus reaction, something is still here, possibly.
Ooh. Do we ask the Drows what happened?
So, I'm gonna
Yeah, I think so.
go and try and seek a little information from one of your drow friends. So,
Yes. Is the blacksmith anywhere near, or he's not even a part of it?
A little bit north, right?
yeah, he is at the northwest corner. His shop is still there, and he is nowhere to be seen. But at the same time, you would imagine for a blacksmith like himself, especially for the reputation he has in this place, that he doesn't exactly have time to be roaming around and getting the news until he actually has time to sit down, eat, and go to the bar towards the end of the night after finishing his work. But as you do approach, you do see Geldin, who looks to you as you kind of approach him, kind of whisper to him what happened. As you do see, quite a few of the guards are still investigating. It looks like they have a wizard who's trying to divine or even figure out what possible magic has happened here. He leans in close to you, just trying to keep things on a more hushed tone. It appears there was a much larger creature that, well, they said it had killed one of the shepherds that occasionally came in for the night, though no one seems to have really seen the body of the shepherd, never mind anything else around the area that would suggest that. I know some of my friends have seen him creeping around at night, but other than that, didn't seem too suspect. Though he did frequent towards one of the whorehouses more often than not. We assumed he was just spending his coin there. Aside from that, the only other person that might know what happened to their friend, it would definitely be our Franz. It would be the halfling towards the other end of the market. He seemed to be quite chummy with the fella, but other than that, I'm not very sure. Minotaur reported seeing a fairly large creature. That's also why you see him right now being spoken to with the guards. He jumped up on top of the buildings trying to chase down the creature for a good fight. Actually kind of glad we have the big oaf around here. Otherwise it would have been probably a big massacre if the creature was as big as him. I don't think any of the guards around here are actually able-bodied enough to take on the Minotaur, never mind whatever came crashing through stone and mortar walls.
Do we
The
know which way?
Minotaur is hunting this creature. Sorry, go ahead.
Just do we know which way it left?
Well, that's what they're trying to figure out now. That's why they brought this wizard in for the moment. He's trying to see if he can't locate any of objects from the shepherd. Nothing seems to really been taken. A lot has been left behind, but he's meticulously going through, trying to see if there's anything that picks up the magical ping in a way.
And the shepherd is merely missing?
Yes, there's not even any blood. Though when we initially went near the house, they shooed everyone away. You do see that plenty of the guards that are surrounding it. Does anyone have a perception? Well, of course, it's easy to assume people have a perception over 16, I assume?
I have a passive perception of 18.
Alright. So anyone who has a passive perception of 16 or you can roll a perception to try and get high enough to see this, but Iden, you would easily be able to see, even though the guards are kind of shield welding pretty well, and even.
Yeah, I'm at 17.
Sorry, did you say 16 or 17? Or 15 or 16?
16 or up. If you have a 16 passive perception or up, you can see this pretty easily. That they definitely put up wood barriers. You do see the wizard, clearly a dragonborn, is going around. He's also with Oberyn Stask as they are going over the area. It looks to be kind of like black ichor, but almost like it's been stained dry onto the stonework of the building itself. Nothing really looks like damage or burns or fire marks. It almost looks like as if it were in a liquid form, and then once it hit the stone itself, it immediately dried.
Is my black goop pointing towards this or the other, or another way?
The black goop is definitely pointing towards the large black stained building. I have a fairly decent sense that whatever stained that building might have left a mark of corruption in a way, just even on the stone and the dirt and any other possible object itself within the building. What remains of it.
Where's that building?
It would be towards the north here. It would be this one.
Okay.
More of a supply house in a way. Let me quickly stash the guards around there where they're supposed to be at. But you can definitely tell that whatever initially collapsed the roof was definitely a fairly good-sized creature.
I'm assuming you think you might be able to...
What was that?
You think you might be able to identify the creature from the marks it left behind?
We can give it a shot. I feel like the goo is saying it's still, whatever it is still here.
So we should follow the group.
Can I do, I roll, I guess, investigation to see if I can tell anything about what's going on?
Go ahead and give me an investigation. Are you going to try and do this stealthily, or are you going to hold up the black goo while trying to follow in plain sight in full daylight?
I guess stealthily.
Alright. So, go ahead and roll me a stealth and then an investigation, obviously, as you try and make sure that you're not being, like, suspect number one, holding a jar of this black ichor that seems to be animating towards it.
Gee, with the boots and all that. Well,
That's still a 19. Alrighty.
investigation.
Yes, sir. And do so with advantage, because you have the ichor helping you, and you've gotten quite familiar with it. Very nice. Alrighty, so you can definitely see that the black ichor is trying to get close to this black stained building. All the objects inside obviously are clearly corrupt, but you can tell that the wizards and the guards know this, and they're obviously trying to take their time to make sure that none of this leaves this area. It's easy to assume that they're clearly going to take care of this. Though, as you study the ichor, you start to see it trace towards the outer side of town, towards more of the outside houses, and towards the more richer part of the districts. You could see in the distance there appears to be a fairly decent-sized mansion, all marked off with a very heavy picket iron fence that looks to be fairly sharp. The structures of it, though, look fairly warm. It has quite the magnificent-looking garden towards the back, lots of flowers. Everything seems to be very well kept, but you do take note that there are no lights at all as to where the rest of the servants and the other houses that you see nearby for some of the larger ones are definitely lit and obviously getting ready for night. Nothing. You don't even see smoke coming out of the chimney.
Do we go see the blacksmith before we jump into the obviously haunted house?
You can check and see if he's actually come back, but I think when we initially it didn't look like he was in his shop.
Well, so you could definitely go check on Grimdane. For that, it would be easy to assume that if he's still busy, he obviously waits till sundown before going to have a drink with the Brass Blades main mercenary guild.
Okay. Well, if he's not there, we'll come back and find him at sundown. Did you want to talk to the halfling friend of the guy that disappeared before we go check out?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Let's go check him out.
Boom, boom, boom.
Alrighty. So, as you do enter in, you can see that the halfling is trying to keep a more jovial position as he sees customers coming in. You see that he sells smaller fineries. Obviously, things that are like silverware, dishware, cups and other such, even small lacquered wooden bowls and other things. Stuff for feasts and such. Welcome, friend. How can I help you today? Obviously, things are quite busy in the markets. Couldn't believe what happened next door at the storehouse there.
Yes. Tell us more about what happened at this storehouse.
I wouldn't believe it. I heard this loud crack and then heard the big old oaf out front. Usually loiters around. Jump up on the roof and next thing I heard, grunting, bullhorns and everything, and roof tiles breaking. I'm amazed he didn't fall through for some of them and just bounded over most of the town before the thing disappeared.
Tell us what it looked like.
Oh, I mean, I heard the noises. It's not like I saw anything. I mean, maybe being foolish, right? Running out there, like
Can
here.
I intimidate him or persuasion to tell us?
Whichever you prefer.
Intimidation.
All right. So, what would you say to him? And obviously, go ahead and give me an intimidation roll.
Well, I would tell him that his stammering sounds like he's hiding something, and I would implore him to tell us the truth. And I guess intimidation check.
Oh God. Alrighty, so already, especially on the back foot, you can see him looking up to you very, very nervously, especially seeing you're a paladin. I don't really like talking about it, especially for being so close to my business, but I don't think lying's really gonna help me here, is it?
No.
Alright. Please just don't tell anyone what I saw. They'll fucking kill my business and scare off everyone who comes near. My friend disappeared. he mentioned seeing something like this before. I didn't believe him, and I think it's what possibly took him. He kept saying he had
Oh shit.
these horrible fucking nightmares about some kind of. He said it looked like a fox, but it walked around like a person. He said it would occasionally shift and sprout wings or tendrils. Like sickly black ink would come out to choke him as he slept, and kept trying to speak with him. And it was tongues at first, but eventually started freaking me the fuck out. I told him to calm down, and I wasn't fucking believing him for a while, and eventually we went and got a drink, and I managed to calm him down a bit. He said he wasn't having the nightmares anymore, and then one day he just kind of walked past me. He looked at me, and I swear to God, I felt like my heart stopped for a moment, and I don't think I thought I was seeing shit, but I thought I saw his face shifting. It definitely fucking wasn't Burnberry there. He locked himself in his storehouse. He never came out, and the screams I heard was nothing like anything I would ever heard before. It sounded like something caught in an animal trap, having the life squeezed out of it, or like some kind of predator torturing its prey for felt like an hour. I thought I was going crazy. Nobody else heard it. They walked by the building, and I looked out the window like a good 30 times. Nobody even flinched. I was too scared to say anything. I thought I might have been going crazy.
How long ago was this?
This was happening to my friend for probably a good 2 weeks now before this happened.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but there's a full chance your friend might not be your friend anymore.
I don't even know what the hell happened. I just hope to the gods that it doesn't fucking come for me. I don't know if he's even savable at this point. I don't even know what the fuck happened to him. I keep hearing that everyone said that his body was gone. Everyone keeps giving me looks like I did something. I swear to God I didn't fucking do anything. I think I need to get the fuck out of this town. There's no way anyone's ever gonna fucking believe me. He's fucking eyeballing me so heavily now.
Is my goo reacting at all?
With the goo, it's for that.
Is it going like it's him, or is it going still in the direction?
Roll me a investigation, obviously with advantage. One more time. All right. So, especially studying the black goo for a time as he's sitting there, sweating and getting nervous. For a while, you start to think that everything's fine until you do see, for only a brief moment, kind of like the smallest lick go towards him.
Well, guy is ruined. We must kill him.
Can't take the chance.
Did you happen to have any, I don't know, pork that made you not feel so good anytime?
Smells like heresy.
Oh.
Purge with fire. I'm sorry.
Me and my friend, when we went drinking, a few days ago, we definitely had some pork at dinner. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know why that's relevant.
Well, we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is we know what's up. The bad news is you gotta die.
Wait, no,
didn't we purge some of them somehow, or did we have to kill them?
Oh, we purged them by killing them.
there were some that were so far gone that you had to kill them, but for others, you were definitely able to save them by cleansing them.
Jim closes this guy's door slowly.
Can we cleanse him first?
We can cleanse him when he's dead.
Alright. So you're going to try and purify him of whatever possible possession he might have.
Yeah, with my sword.
Alright.
I was gonna try the safe way first, but
That is the safe way.
Let's try the paladin powers first before paladin sword.
Paladin sword powers. Alright, so you gotta.
Jin leans into Ramis. Dude, I honestly don't remember how we cleansed the last group.
As your sister is possessed by some kind of power and says, lesser restoration.
We all know the power of love didn't heal that.
That's true. But as you do that, you see him retch over for a moment as he starts vomiting profusely on the floor, as he starts choking, as he quickly falls to his knees. You start seeing sweat pouring down his face as you see.
Cast create bonfire in front of him, so anything he throws up lands in the fire.
Perfectly timed. So, especially at that point, as he starts vomiting, you see black ichor, just like before, start pouring out. And right towards the end of the spout of all this, especially for the fact of it seems like a whole gallon of his stomach contents coming up. The familiar parasite that you killed before come crawling out of his throat and splash down into the bonfire and start shrieking out in an almost ear-shattering noise as it starts burning in the bonfire. At this point, he's sitting there heaving on the floor, just... What the fuck was that? What the fuck?
Jun holds the guy's hair back and pats him on the back.
Something very, very bad. Have you been quarantining, or have you had contact with anyone in the last 14 days?
Have you been wearing your mask?
Very important.
You left the township.
Have you traveled anywhere?
It's the brass blades from pork.
Fuck.
But at that point, he does say, just to my friend when he had some of the supply from the salted pork. That's all we had, along with the ale. You don't think he put some shit in my drink, whatever the fuck that was?
No, or whatever. Well, he's definitely probably got what you.
Well, if he doesn't, then it does mean that he put it in his drink if they both ate the pork. So it could have been either.
I don't even know what to say. You can see he just kind of.
I think he was one.
Yeah, for real.
he nods. It's just immediately. Thank you. Oh God, thank you. I don't even know where to begin with this.
I takes his hands and he leads him in a breathing exercise.
Yeah. You can see he's like about to hyperventilate and pass out. At the same time,
We breathe in tandem with the flames.
the flames like rise each time like a firebender. So, as he's sitting here like hyperventilating, it does occur to all of you though that on the initial transportation, especially when you previously purchased it, when you first encountered the Black Yicker, was with swine. When you purchased all the pigs originally.
Well, let's check the store of salted pork.
Where exactly did you go for this meat?
He had a shipment originally from a while back. It was finally finished in the preserving state, so we soaked it up and cooked it. And he probably still had some in the storehouse with a crate there if he didn't sell any more of it.
How much
He's
of
been
it did he sell?
He's been selling to the people in this town.
He's probably had that shipment for. Well, he did get it 2 weeks ago, but.
Are these like tents open, or do all of them have people in them?
They're all open. Obviously, they're little shop centers for merchants to set up.
Don't forget, it
Is there
doesn't work on non-humans, so...
Is
we
there
probably-
space? Yeah, is there space to set up a first aid tent, and we can start making public announcements? I don't have prestidigitation, so I can't make my mouth loud, my words loud. But
There definitely is, and obviously you can go and start setting that up, and we'll pick up next week. As obviously some of the city guard come over and start asking you, why are you raising
we pull out our jar of goo and begin the tale.
Yeah,
And then the screen fades to black.
yeah. As you start trying to explain, or figure out how you're going to explain to the city guard who are already trying to keep the townsfolk from panicking. What the fuck is even going on?
We tell you, real shit's going on.
Oh man, if we missed some, that means we could have missed more.
Yep. I don't think this one's on us though. I think we stopped that fresh shipment of like pigs, but this may have been because I mean it was already.
It was before, a month before, yeah. Shit. So that means that this is a thing that's been happening, which means someone is doing this.
Yeah.
And then probably...
I will tell you, it's not me.
It's this guy. It's this guy. His picture is from the rogue page. He's evil.
It's
I'm gonna be
definitely
honest
evil.
with you
Troy.
guys. I honestly think it's this guy.
Hey,
Pretty suspect.
hey.
Yeah, Zareen
Hey,
dies,
I
and this
heard
guy
you.
shows up.
Hurting
You were
him.
hurting them.
Hurting him. I healed him.
No, not hurting. Hurting. Like hurting the pigs. You were the one carrying the pigs around, weren't you?
What?
When we got the pigs, you were the one, like, shepherding them.
I'm a druid.
No,
I don't think that was me though.
no, it wasn't him. Though there was someone who was shepherding him with his daughter.
Yeah, but after we got the piggies, it was,
We
Ivan
slayed
who-
them. I barbecued them.
No,
Come on.
you barbecued the pigs.
I don't recall barbecuing the pigs.
Definitely did.
Oh yeah, you 100% barbecued the pigs.
Gave them, like, money for their trouble.
Paid them off. We didn't kill them though. Did we check if they were evil? Did we forget to check if they were evil?
Paid them off. Oh, it's
Probably.
we paid them when they were evil.
The daughter was the demon chick.
Well, or if they just ate, like, you know, some pickled pig's foot before they left, and one thing led to another. You don't go to a doctor for your yearly checkup, and then you got black goo AIDS.
What?
Oh, wow.
Huh?
went dark.
At the same time, before you guys initially left this place, there was a little bit of black goo alarm.
Oh.
This is what happens when you guys don't thoroughly check.
You guys, what are you doing?
Everyone was
I'm keeping Pelgrim entertained.
Everyone was leaving. Koo stole the cart because everyone was like, "All right, it's time to go." Koo's like, "I got this," and then fucking rolled up. We gotta go.
Fucking rob this place blind.
Of course, there's always the dancing fairy at the tavern that you can go to. All right, so for that, we're done. Everyone gets 1,000 XP for actually major plot advancement.
For plot advancement, yay!
Go into a haunted mansion, don't we?
We'll see.
Everyone should like spam in chat, wishing Rainy to feel better.
Yeah.
She's gonna probably be with the only hangover in the morning.
She is not feeling the shinies. You like Dia's armor and all that? It's good stuff.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Dia's armor's very cool.
Very nice, Kanye.
Goodbye, Saki. Thanks for hanging out this whole time.
We are almost there. Well, halfway there.
There?
Halfway there.
Wait. Did we get an experience last time? Because I wasn't here.
Are you
I
level
put
7?
the new total.
Okay, so we got
What level are you, Jin?
430. I am level 8.
Alright, good. I was about to say.
Don't worry, my character in D&D and Beyond is updated.
Good.
Well, I gotta add.
Oh, I should update my D&D Beyond character. I have literally only done the roll 21.
I screwed up and I didn't update my roll 21. So when you were asking about the passive perception, I should have been at 16 as my wisdom had gone up, but I never actually changed it on roll 20.
Fork.
Yeah.
Blaze. Alrighty.